Hi, my name is Toby, and in 2019 I inherited an abandoned 248,000 square metre farm in the northwest corner of Tenerife, inside the Tenor National Park. I'm now clearing 50,000 square metres of overgrowth, restoring a 100-year-old farm building, rediscovering 200,000 square metres of virgin forest, and setting up the location for a self-sustainable lifestyle centre where parents can send their teenagers to discover how their grandparents lived 100 years ago in a modern, eco-friendly, off-grid homestead while they star in their own YouTube reality TV show. Here they will find out about solar and wind energy, discover how water is sourced naturally, how to domesticate farm animals, plant, grow and harvest crops, and also enjoy outside pursuits such as hiking, climbing, mountain biking, nature watching and stargazing. And all this in one of the best climates of the world. Follow our journey from the very start as we begin and develop this adventure, a massive project to bring useful purpose to this abandoned land. Become an active part of our dream to bring a sustainable lifestyle to this place of outstanding natural beauty. We are the Buenavista Rural Club. Old ways, new paths.
So let's just take a little walk around and see what we've been up to. You can see down here we've done a bit of clearing so as to get the path a little clearer. And here in front, directly in front, you can see what's about 10,000 square meters of land, which is completely covered in brambles and bracken. What I've been spending some time doing is finding from this top road to this bottom road the path which goes through the middle of the piece of land, which gives you a constant level climb rather than the terraces, which, because they're stepped, can't be used with a tractor. But you can see just how tall these brambles are. They're much higher than me. Visto the inspector, you coming to have a look? Do you want to come with me? Well, good afternoon. It's Sunday. It's well after 6 o'clock. I've been here for the last 4 or 5 hours cutting and acting on a tip-off from Luis, whose uncle used to be the farmer here. He told me to look for a small palm tree. This small palm tree is at the beginning of this piece of land, which has already been cleared. Well, it's been cleared this way, backwards, suggesting that it belongs ultimately to the neighbours. But this is where I decided to start my exploration today, and I started here and I cut back the hedgerow all the way along here, discovering another fire plant, another fire tree, and then I cut down this way. Can you see that slope going down? Well, what I'm looking for is a pathway which goes from here all the way to the road at the bottom. In other words, cutting out the U-bend. So I'm coming down this very steep piece of ground, and I cleared all of this area here. Oop, there I go. I cleared all of this area here, finding some more fire plants, or fire trees, which I preserve. I don't cut them down. I cut all of this back, and I'm suspecting this is all neighbours' land. Cut all this back so as to arrive at the palm tree. Now, there is no easy path up from this palm tree up to the upper road, which suggests that it is not the marker that I'm looking for, because I'm expecting an easy slope up to the upper road, and you could see that coming down that very steep slope was certainly not easy. And then as I come down here, you can see that clearly this is quite thick. I discovered this irrigation pipe, which is cut here. Then I discovered these two rocks, which were buried. And as I came through here, I discovered the trellises, which lead to the trellis that I had found the previous time, which you can see in the background up there. And I cut the way through from this part into that entrance which I cut back last week, clearing through here. And as I clear through here, I discover this stone wall here, which is interesting. And then these two whacking great rocks here. Now, as I say, on the other side of the road, there's also a big rock there. Now that is clearly marking something, and I think it's the limit of my land, which goes up that way to that tree that you can see in the mist at the back there. And then it goes along there all the way to that tree that you can see right up there in the mist, and then up the mountain. And I think that these rocks signify that. And then here below the rock, there's another steep drop, which I didn't cut all the way through because it is pretty much vertical. But if I come back to here, which is the original tranche, no, it's not, here, which is the original tranche, that's the one that I cut that does go all the way down to the bottom road, but it's not the pathway because it's stepped, and it's stepped very steeply. So that's not a path. That's just me cutting through the terraces. Now, opposite this palm tree, I cut in, and there is a gentler slope, but it's still not what I would call a pathway. It's got rocks on it, and then when you come down it, which you can, it comes down here, and then it drops off quite steeply into the next terrace. You can see that is effectively the same as here. You can see that's an almost vertical drop. That's the fire tree and the broom. That's the almond. So we're beginning to get some clear landmarks. There's a rock there, the two rocks at the top there, but then I discovered this, which is really a bit of a sort of megalith rock. A couple of them here. Now that's got to be a marker. And that lines up with that big rock on the top as well, and the palm tree. So it's all beginning to make sense. I cut that way simply so as to see where it went a bit further, to see whether I could join the other one, but I didn't. I then went upwards and joined the drive in. And here, it does seem a bit gentler, but it's still a pretty hefty drop. And I can't imagine that is the path. But time will tell, because all of this needs to be cut back. All of this needs to be explored. And all of this land needs to be cleared. You can see that it is an absolutely mega job. There, centre screen now is the almond tree. There. There's the pump house. The entrance to the farm is there, and the other entrance to the farm is way down the bottom there. There's the neighbour's house. And those trees there are the markers. Everything to the left of here, all the way to that tree there, is mine, including that big bump. And up, 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 long way. Well, I can hear somebody coming. Listo! Where are you? Hey, hey, hey! Come on then, let's go and get something to eat. Despite the rain that we've been having, the chopped leaves turn brown immediately, but you can see that almost immediately as well, green starts to sprout. And these are terraces, you see. So this is a strip which is probably from over there to over there. And then there's a drop into the next terrace. And that drop's quite steep. You can see here that the field actually goes down. This is the road just below us. Come on, Visto. Come on. That tree is on the road, and so's the almond. That's where I cleared. And then here's the briar or the broom tree, which is inside all the rocks. That's where I started to clear today and got rid of some of this dead wood. I haven't got my gloves with me, so I'm not going to get too involved in that. But you can see that this is tied up in that rock, and then it's quite a steep drop here from the other terrace, which is above, which is the terrace that I cleared this morning. We can have a look at that in a second. This was the strip that I did the other day, and you can see just how quickly this bracken starts to return very fast. Come on then. You haven't been down here before, have you? See, that's the steep drop from the terrace that I cut through to today. And then I did another entrance a bit further out, up that way. Now, there's some doubt as to whose land is whose, actually. You can see the neighbour's house up above us, and we know that a lot of the land there in front belongs to them. But I was speaking to him this morning, and he seemed to think that some of this land down here was mine. You can see another tree growing there and another tree growing there. These trees are very important because they give the land some features, rather than just being clear. Now, I hope that we'll be able to bring the tractor and just drive straight through all that lot. That would certainly be a result. Come on, Visto. Come on. Come on, come here. Come on. What is it? What is it, boy? Come on up here with me. Let's have a look around. There's a very big rock here. Go on then. Whoa! Straight down the hole. That's a long way down. Don't want to do that. So, I imagine that what we have is another entrance like this one, a bit further down. So this being the corner, the road continues up this way, and all this land on the right hand side with the brambles, that all needs to be cleared. This is a terrace, so the terrace will run this way, the way that we're walking along here, and here we come to an entrance to a terrace. This is the one that has the fire tree, and it's behind the briar down onto that terrace below us. That was the first one I cleared, and you can see that the drop here is the drop between the terrace, so there would be no way you could take a tractor down that way, but this terrace would go in like this and would go along. All of this is where I've been clearing. This was the first roller coaster drop. You can see that dropping down all the way to the road below. And you can see this is the terrace. You see, it's quite steep down. And so what I've been looking for is a gradual slope here that would take you from here to the bottom in a graded path. And I'm very glad to say that I found it. Hello, I'm in the jungle at the moment. The jungle with my machete, cutting my way through all this lot by hand, because the motor machine's given up. So I'm lying here in the field with all the brambles that I'm cutting surrounding me, and I've made it probably half the way up the hill, cutting a slice, but this time the slice is on the path, so there are no roller coasters. It's all just one gradual inclination upwards. I suppose it's 1 in 6 or something like that. So it's quite hard going up the hill, but I'm getting there. And then eventually this path will be the path that I can bring the tractor down and then branch off into the terraces from here. And that will give me access to all of the fields, which is what I need. So hopefully it's all going to be worth it very soon, because at the moment it's damn hard work. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel down there. That's as far as I've got to cut. But I've still got quite a lot to go above me. Because that goes all the way up there. Fantastic. Now this plant here is what's called a Canary Dandelion. It's a protected species. And this is that terrace which goes along. And you can see the edge of the terrace here, but it drops off. There's no gradual path here. You coming with me? You following me in the fields? Come on. We might find some field mice. So this is the palm tree, big palm tree, that is on our property. You can see the terraces go up all the way to the top of that hill. That tree there. There is the limit of the farm. That one. I don't know whether you can see that. So another big boulder here, another entrance here. You can see that this is another terrace that's above that one. And here, this one goes down here into it. And there's a wall here. It's still in my property. You can see that they've put that flag up and the flag above it on the hill to represent the line of the property. And here is where I discovered the downhill that goes down all the way to the other road. We'll walk that in just a moment. If I look just behind me, I can see I left my hat here last night. I can see another fire tree, but there's a grade down this way, an irrigation pipe. If we go up here, we can go up here to the road. You see? So we start on the road. That's the flag that denotes the border. Okay, so now let's, using the flag as a marker. The other flag's at the top of the hill there. This one, and the last one is down there. You can't see it from here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the path from the top, and this is the slope that goes down, a continuous gradation rather than the steps of the terrace. Coming down, here we go, down through quite a steep gradation, but nonetheless a gradation, not a step. Continues down here, down this way. This is what I cut yesterday. Freshly cut brambles. You can see the height of the brambles here compared to me. See my shadow? I mean, they're very tall. They're about 2.5–3 meters tall. And here we go, down we come. And you see the terrace here is actually eliminated, and it's just a slope so that one can drive a vehicle or a tractor up and down it and access. I started going that way, but I stopped because I was just interested in finding the path. Here's the path down to the bottom. That one cuts through to the roller coaster, and this one here comes down here. There's a rock formation here. That's the end of that fat irrigation pipe. It comes to here, and that's the flagpole. So this is the bottom pole, according to the neighbour. However, I suspect it's more up to that where that rock is myself. And now you can see a clear line all the way through. Let me try and block the sun a bit. See a clear line all the way through to the top. And if we walk down this way, there's the pump house. And here's the water. Tank. The water tank. From the entrance, and that's the road up. There's the roller coaster. Come on, Visto. Let's go and get something to eat. Come on. There's some more of those Canary Dandelions. Looking very green with the water that we're getting from the sky. Keep up, mate. And there we have it, the entrance to the clubhouse.